Hey Ringside crew, welcome to the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. And now here's your host, Joe Panther III.
Hello there, wrestling fans.
Yes.
Yes, and welcome to the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. It's me. It's the triple letters, the three, Joe Panther III. And today, congregation, Ringside crew, we have
Yes.
a man that's coming to the microphone. Let's give a warm Dudes at Ringside welcome to Pastor CeeLo. Welcome,
Yes.
buddy.
Yes. Good people. But see now I gotta show you because I don't want you to lose your job. You seem like you do a great job. Great. I love what you do over there. But let me give you a proper intro. Yes. See, I am the light far at the end of the tunnel. Who yes? I am the man with the holiest feet in the game. Yes, I am the good one, the good pastor. Pastor CeeLo. Yes. You got to make sure you say the whole thing like a Tribe Called Quest. Okay, you got to say the whole thing. Yes.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. I'm so happy and I'm honored to have you here on Dudes at Ringside, the internationally known podcast. So, like, what made you step foot in from being a pastor and now you're a professional wrestler? What does it feel like? Like, what does it feel like to be like on both sides of being a pastor and you're a wrestler? Like, is it a different world?
It's a crazy thing because I didn't see this for myself. I did not at all see that me, myself, would be blessing individuals, blessing people all over the United States with my words and with my moves inside the ring. No, I just felt it was my duty to try and give back. So being a pastor was the way to go. I could have my church. I could have people come down. I could speak to them individually or as a group. But for something was missing. So I needed a little bit larger scale. I need to get to people quicker. I need to get to a larger audience. I needed to get to more individuals, but in a new way. And we all have that story about why did you get into wrestling? Oh, it was a dream. I loved it as a kid. Of course, we all did. But for me, it just seemed like a calling. It seemed like the Lord was calling me to do some crazy things, some crazy ways, but do it with the light behind me. Yes. So I joined Mega Championship Wrestling, and I followed my dream this last 4 years of blessing each ring, whether it's in PA, whether it's in Indiana, Michigan, whether it's in Tennessee. I'm blessing rings and making sure I tell people about the good word of the Lord. Yes. And winning championships on the way and entertaining the crowd. All the fun things about wrestling. It's an honest day's work, but it's a good time at the same time.
Yes. So, what's the furthest you ever traveled to go to a wrestling? So you said PA to Tennessee. Like, is anything past there that you've been or you haven't? Like, you've been dying to get to?
You know what? I want to get everywhere. That's the goal. That's to get everywhere in the U.S. It's to get everywhere outside of the U.S. The furthest I honestly say I would go is Vermont. That was at ETWA. I had my debut there a few months back. And that's an 11-hour drive there and 11 hours back. Tennessee, we were there for some NWA tapings in Tennessee, and that was about 8 hours there, 8 hours back. So, yeah, Vermont right now is the furthest. Other than that, anywhere, there's no stopping what I want to. I want to bless every single ring in each state, every city if I can. I want to make sure everyone knows who the good pastor is. Yes.
Awesome. Sorry, excuse me, Father. Is there any wrestlers that you've been watching that you like, I have to touch this guy because he needs to be blessed? Like any of these wrestlers that you're like, I gotta take care of this person. I'm just like, you gotta take
You
care of
know, if we were to throw any name, is there a list? There's a list. There's definitely a list. Who is on that list? One individual is Danhausen. Could I
it.
get in the ring with Danhausen? I would love to get in the ring with Danhausen. Why? Because character work. I love character work. That's the biggest thing for me when it comes to Inside. I love being me. I love being that individual that sparks that smile on one of the fans' face, or maybe even sparks that frown on one of their faces, whichever my role may be in that situation. As long as I'm leaving them with that long lasting reaction of, man, he did some cool moves. But do you remember when he came over and was taking some of my popcorn or something like that? Or when he came over and was shaking my hand? Those are the moments that make the match that self. But I mean, when it comes to who I want to be in, I feel like Danhausen and his jaw of teeth and things. I feel like we can make magic now. Another individual, Dan the Dad. He is another individual I would love to stay. And again, same situation. It is character work. I know we can build a beautiful story inside the ring. Those are definitely a big two of mine that I would definitely see. Hopefully sometime in the future, us stepping into the ring and just beautiful storytelling is what I'm looking at. But anyone can get it. Anyone can get the blessings. Anyone can get the holiest feat in the game. Yeah.
The one that I would like to see you encounter in the ring, and you have to like the good versus evil, Mother Endless.
What? You know what? That is one individual that I do fight. I would love to. I would love to. Good versus evil. I've had many good versus evil, battles in my lifetime. Soul Taker was one of those individuals where it was good versus evil. Unfortunately, evil prevailed. But that's another point. The storytelling is there. So Mother Endless, absolutely, anytime, anywhere. Oh, I'm ready for you. Yes.
Awesome. Like I usually go to like PPW in Slatington, PA. There's one with what's the name? Alpha Junior, Battlefield Pro Wrestling. That's another good one.
Yes.
Alpha Junior, shout out to Alpha and what they do over there, and they train some awesome stars that are like, I like most people. You'll say their name and they're like it's like a guy that he does a nerd character, and I totally jumped on. And we were talking. We made up our own gimmick. I was like, I got to make this into a clip. The NWO make it the Nerd World Order.
Oh wow! Okay, yes.
He's like, don't say it too loud. They'll steal it. I was like, we may get copyright strike for the name Nerd NWO, but we're doing it with the orange, white, and black.
Okay.
Yeah. We may need a manager in the Nerd World Order, Pastor. So we may need someone to speak the good word.
I am always down to preach the good word of the nerds. Absolutely, I'm a nerd myself. I do love a good card game. I love do a little video gaming myself on my spare time when I'm not going around preaching and wrestling.
The nerds need you could be our Paul Heyman. You could hold our belts. You could represent us.
Yes. I will. Sign me up. Yes.
I'll tell the big nerd, like we have our speaker. We'll just stand there and you'll just speak for us.
Absolutely. I can do that. I can do that all day. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes. You could be the second dude. I could always have you as my be the new dude at ringside.
It's my first time on the show, and you giving me all these little upgrades and these raises. I appreciate you. Oh, yes.
Yes, of course. I love giving people shout outs, and it's always good to have a good person like you that always brings the word and tries to make everybody know what's the right way.
No, you have to know, and what is a bigger audience than a wrestling ring? I mean, you get in front of crowds of maybe five, maybe 10, but then your fifties, your hundreds, even your thousands. You get in front and you can preach as much, and they'll listen, and they'll get their hands in the air and they get the waving like they just don't care. Yes.
What's like I know you said the 5, the 10s, like what's the biggest indie show you've ever like been a part of that you could talk about today?
The biggest, if we're talking the biggest in how many people were there, I would probably have to say Mega Championship Wrestling's Colossal Con.
Okay.
And there, I think we had between 15 to 2,000 individuals in that room watching us. Every year we do those shows, like we have some of the most diehard crazy fans there, and people that aren't even a fan of wrestling or a fan of the costume wrestling that we do for them. So it every year I love it, I enjoy it. This past year, I was Lieutenant Geordie from Star Trek, taking on Alex Daniels, and he was Riker. And then did another match. Well, wasn't actually in the match, but I did a little segment of the match where I was Johnny from Ed, and Eddie, the one that had Plank and all that.
Yeah.
I played as him as a little part for someone else's match and all that. But the year before, I've done Green Lantern. I've done what's his name? What's his name? I'm blanking right now. The individual that does Reading Rainbow.
Oh my God! I
LeVar
can't
Burton.
think. He's
LeVar Burton.
LeVar Burton.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I did a match as him before. So they're always fun matches to do, because like you don't have to be the pastor, you can be whoever and just put on and it's, again, it's
You could be Bruce
storytelling.
Wayne. You could go as Bruce Wayne for a match.
Yes, absolutely. Actually, the year that I went as Green Lantern, my tag team partner was Superman with me. So we had that little match going on against some Mortal Kombat characters. But it's still the fun and joy of just being able to break loose and have some fun. So
Yeah, definitely. So like when you travel to these shows, do you have to like travel the day before, or do you like try to get there like early enough the day of the show so you don't have to like pack like a breakfast and everything?
So depending on where the show is, because a lot of the shows that I do are in Ohio. So,
Oh,
most of them are at most, I want to say the longest I've gone is maybe 3 hours for a show, but shortest I've gone is an hour 40. So sometimes, because we all still, do our daily dues, after I get done with working hard at the church, I'll go ahead and take my way on to a show, depending on what time it starts or what call time is and things like that. The only times that I can remember will be Vermont and going to Tennessee. Actually, Vermont, Tennessee, and I did go up to New York for first, not first, but once before. I did not work in New York, but I was at a show up there, checking it out. They needed help. Hey, I'm there, typical things like that. But those are the only two times to where I remember we took a hotel going to New York. So we went the day before, stayed in the hotel, went the rest of the day, went the rest of the way the next day, and then after the show drove straight home. So we were pretty much looking at the whole time. With Tennessee, we did Colossal Con the night before, so we did big show there, and then that night after Colossal Con, drove down to Tennessee, got there in the morning, did the show and everything, and we stayed in a hotel that night, left the next day. So really depends on like miles and stuff like that. There's been shows that I'll go 2-3 hours, and I'll drive there and back the same day. Like, depending on pay and things like that. If I don't have to stay anywhere, I won't. I'll just drive home, do it that way. So it just kind of depends.
So when you're like traveling these shows, I know wrestling, it's hard to keep yourself on track on like your like meal plan. Do you have to like think responsibly when it comes to eating? Because you're a wrestler, you have to be in shape. Do you have to like make sure you like know what to grab and what to eat when you go out, or do you go to the grocery store and try to make a salad, like make a short salad or like chicken? Or what do you do for that?
So I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a sheets guy. Like,
I know sheets, yeah.
I'm a big sheets guy. So if I'm in an area where there's a sheets, that's where I'm going. But I try to keep, like, if I'm doing a lot of protein, get something with a lot of protein in it. Or if I'm doing a lot of, like more salads and greens and stuff like that, get that type of stuff. Like, sheets is kind of that cool place to where you can get those different types of things. So depending on, what you're working on or what you should be eating, like they have that little bit of variety. But that's kind of my downfall is I do spend a lot on sheets. So like going to a grocery store and getting that stuff beforehand would definitely be a better idea. But it'd probably be the same idea, just purchasing what I'm working on. If I'm doing a lot more with protein and, building and things like that, you're probably going to see me with a lot of meats compared to greens or anything like that. So, but yeah, if it's not a sheets, it's a get go, and if it's not a get go, it's a speedway. It's like one of those three. Like those are the only places I'll go to that have like a decent variety to where I can kind of still eat well without feeling bad about what I'm eating.
And then you're down in your car crying, going, "I can't believe I ate that bacon. I can't believe I ate that wrap.
Yes,
That
yes.
bacon, lettuce, and I shouldn't told them extra bacon."
And
No.
then get to the show, you're feeling bad, like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna move as well, man. Like,
Yeah, I
oh,
gotta use the bathroom before the match. You're the first match. What?
what and what? No.
Do you like keep in touch with the promoter like the day of the show? Do you say, okay, what time's call time? Like, I'm coming from Ohio. I have to go to, like, if you're in Ohio and you're going to a show, example, you went to, if you were in Ohio and you're going to PPW in Slatington,
Mhm.
okay, I'm traveling that day. Hey, blah blah blah. What time's call time so I know to get there a little early? Do you ever do stuff like that with the
So
promoters?
I usually get that information from the promoter beforehand. Like they'll usually tell me like, at the time of, hey, I'm booking you, are you free this day? Blah blah blah. Cool. This is what call time is. Usually I'll get that information at the time of them booking me. Sometimes they'll throw all the wrestlers in like a group chat and throw that information, there. So I usually no, or I try to be there like at least 2 hours early before call or anything like that. So usually by noon. I get there by noon, nobody else is there. Gives me time to, talk to everybody, do a little work in the ring and things like that. But like I want to be there as early as possible. But like I said, usually that information is brought to me beforehand, like I said, day of, them booking me and all that.
Yeah, that's important because like there's wrestlers that I know that they don't really, if they tell them the time they're supposed to be there because it's part of the whole thing.
Yeah, yeah.
But then this sometimes that the wrestler, the promoter or GM or whatever says, okay, the show's this day, but they don't tell them a call time, and they get there like 5 seconds before their match, or they're like not even in their gear, and they have to run to the ring either in jeans or they're wearing like
Yep,
sneakers. You're
yep.
like, why is Danhausen wearing a t-shirt and sneakers? What's
I mean,
what's
like he could
happening?
probably work the character. Like he could probably make it work. Like I don't know.
I could
But
see him
no,
going,
like
ugh, I have no makeup on. You know who I am. Ugh.
but
Cursed.
like getting there that late, no, I couldn't do it. Like usually, like for me, I mean, I've not really had to be on like first match or anything like that. Like usually it's right before intermission or like after intermission or anything. So I've not done like it's been actually been a very long time since I've like been match one. But yeah, that it's a scary feeling to, have to get there like, oh, hey, you're about to go on. We got like 5 minutes. Like, wait, what? What? No, like
No stretching, no nothing. You're there.
exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I'd hate it. I couldn't do it.
Yeah. So, have you ever done any intergender matches like versus women yet?
I have done yes at Ruthless Wrestling. That's ran under Ricky Shane Page in Cleveland. Um, I've worked side by side with Angel, taking on, oh man, who did we take on that match? Evelyn Sage and Riley Reed, I believe his name is. Um, and it was a little fun match, no issues, no problems there, I've been in a few matches where like, well, I won't even say matches. I've been in a few like battle royals, Royal Rumbles, where females have been in there. We've made connection, and I'll sometimes play the whole, oh, I can't touch women, I can't hit you, let them beat up on me, eliminate me, whatever, whole things like that. But other than that, worked a 6-man tag, and Jody Threat was one of the
I enjoy that.
that match. So we did a little bit in the ring together, but not too many. I think I've done one or two actually at my home promotion, Mega Championship Wrestling. Emily Locke, her and
Love Emily Locke. She's so awesome.
Yeah, she is. She'll actually be at our show coming up July 20th.
Shout out to Emily Locke. She's doing really good. She's characters.
Yes.
Can you tell it like? What do you think? Emily Locke's character has evolved so
absolutely, very well. Yes, and I mean, like with the match that we did, it was her and Exodus versus me, and at the time, I had the Mega Church that was my stable at the time. We had a 6-man tag at Saturday Night Slam. It was out at the park. And just like the vibe that the chemistry that they have, all three of them working together, and just her as just a crowd favorite because that was their home area, or her home area. But just like character overall, like I know I have a decent character, but man, like just unbelievable.
You should add T Gaines to your group. T Gaines is a big character.
We could. You know what? The option is still open for the church to,
She could be your enforcer. The girl could squat half my body weight.
You know what? I'm gonna give her a call. I'm gonna give her a text.
Squatzilla is she's a master. Tell her Joe Panther the Third. Send my regards. Said you're highly regarded, but Joe Panther the Third.
I will make sure. Yes.
I love T Gaines. She'll be like, oh, that Joe. Just because I could squat his whole body weight doesn't mean he has to tell him about me every time. I'm gonna get a message now. It's gonna be her cracking her knuckles. It's just be like, Joe, stop talking about me. You're not paying me. Like, don't hurt me. I promise. These don't break my glasses. Like, you're gonna break the glasses. It's like when the wrestler charges for like stickers at a show. Like, break the glasses. You have to send. My rule is, if you get me involved in a show and a wrestler wants to like get involved with me, this is what I always tell the wrestlers. I've never had this happen yet. If you want to get involved with me in a match, you have to send me Amazon a pair of red glasses with lenses to be able to break them in the match. So they're not the originals, and they're not the ones Mama Panther bought me. So you're not breaking the real glasses.
I got you.
When the wrestler thinks that they got over on me, they turn around and I'm like this. Oh, my glasses, and then they're looking back. They come back, and I'm like this.
There you go.
And they're like, you little. I'm like, no, you don't break these. Don't break these.
No, that's a good idea. Like, it works. Like, it definitely, why not?
I had one wrestler tell me, I'm not going to send you glasses. And I'm like, then you can't break my glasses then.
I mean, it makes sense. Yeah.
Because it costs money. These are the original. These were the glasses I wore since for 4 years. These ones. Yeah. The no lenses. See, like, easiest way to wear glasses. No lenses. Even though that's a terrible thing to show Mama Panthers, because she'll go, you're gonna go blind. So, when it comes to merch, do you have like, when you're traveling, do you have to have like a tote, or do you have like a bucket or anything when you have your merch and stuff? Is it in the same bag as your uniform, your gear?
So I carry 2 bags. One is for my gear, one is for my merch. My gear pretty much with what I wear just fits in a little book bag that I carry with me. So, I'll have everything in that. But I have a rolling suitcase that I keep all my merchandise in. Mainly shirts, photos, stickers, things like that I can kind of keep in there and all of that. But yeah, I keep them separate. I could not keep them together, especially after a match. I couldn't do it.
Oh
So
gosh, you would lose it. So when you're
yes.
doing your matches, do you like have someone sitting at the table with your merch, or you come out and bring it to the table when the match is over?
So I'll normally have it sitting out. Like for example, like the mega shows. I'll put my stuff out before like folks come in and things like that. During intermission, I'll pop out, talk to people, sell merch and all that stuff. But usually that's the only time that I'm out there with it, or at the end of the night when I'm collecting it up. Now sometimes we'll have other individuals sitting there doing other merch. Be like, hey, can you, just keep an eye on stuff over here just in case somebody's looking, blah blah blah, and all
Yeah.
that.
So always got to be safe because these people are like, not saying all fans, but there's fans that like no one's looking at the table. Someone will look over and grab a shirt
Yes,
or grab a
exactly.
sticker, and it's just like, no, that costs money. Like,
Yep.
that's
So
stealing. That's stealing.
exactly, yeah.
You just
And
been
the
shamed.
Lord does not like stealing. It's one of the commandments. You can't do. Thou shalt not steal. Like, come on now.
Yes. Ruler. No.
Yep,
You know what you all?
go.
Oh my God! If you get T Gaines as your like, she could be like your Deacon Batista from back in the
Oh
day.
my goodness, see, you're giving me ideas.
She could have the bucket around her neck with a chain. She's big, so she'd be like $1.
Oh man. Oh goodness.
We're around the ringside area with the bucket.
I don't
Like
know if this would fit. Like I don't know how this would work, but all right.
She's like, Joe, you just made me the the one walking around the ringside area.
Mm-hmm.
For the money.
And you see, I don't think the intimidation is going to be like they got to be joyous when they put that dollar in, or the $10 or the $20. Like they got to be joyous when they do that. Yes.
See, I remember when I was living on Long Island, a teenage Joe Panther. My sister was in the Baptist choir, so I remember the pastor, and I remember how much fun I used to. Oh, I didn't sing, my sister sang, so I was there. I remember, like like the choir. She was in the Hope Missionary Baptist Choir in Long Island in Central Islip, and man, they would have the crowd like people jumping into the aisles, like feeling the spirit, like that. Oh my gosh, like, and then afterwards we get a nice lunch, like downstairs, like
there you go.
Baptist choirs, Baptist churches, you go to like from like 7 a.m. all the way to like 1 p.m.
Yep, exactly. And then you get that nice little dinner downstairs in the basement, and the delicious sides, and it was worth it after that. That dinner was always worth it because
my dad is like, is it over? Yeah, we got like 20 more minutes. We stopped for lunch. What?
Oh man.
We got fried chicken. You walk downstairs and it's fried chicken, collard greens, mac and cheese, the whole works.
And just sitting there, just waiting because I know you have your white churches, you have your black church. Now I know, like white churches, you kind of get through it kind of quick, but then like in a black church, like you got a song, and then you got another song, and then you got the song to continue into the other song, and then you have a prayer. Yep. And then you go into like 3 more songs, and then we got to go into the offering tray, and then we got to do another song, and then a story. And then we build up into another song, and then you pray. Then you throw the tray around about 3 more times. Like, it's a process, I just want to eat the collard greens and the string beans and the cornbread and the pork and beans and it's hard being a pastor, but we have to be on this strict schedule on how we do things. Yes.
Yeah, and it's just like I'm like I could, when your mom, or you're at your friend's house and you can smell the mom cooking, and it's like toward the end of church, and you're smelling the fried chicken. It's coming through the floor, and you're like, the pastor's going on that rant, and then you think he's about to get done, and then that lady feels the spirit in the aisle, and it's like,
Yeah,
and
there you
it's just like,
go, sister. Oh, you're feeling it. Now I gotta talk a little bit more about it.
and
Yeah,
it's like,
you know what? They get us every time because I be ready. I be ready to be like, okay, now we're about to go into prayer, and then Sister Mary, she always wanna pop up. Yes, Pastor, talk a little bit more. So what do I gotta do? I gotta talk a little bit more. I can't leave her hanging, so I gotta do the pastorless thing. I gotta give her a little bit more, and then it turns into another one catching the spirit. See, this is the process. They all need to catch the Holy Spirit all at the same time. Just one time, they all catch the Holy Spirit, and then I just extend for one time. That's it. That's it. And we all get to the delicious smelling chicken much quicker because they know I can talk. I can't stop talking sometimes. I can't stop talking right now. It's a disease. I'm telling you.
yeah, that's why I had to do a podcast, because I'd be sitting talking to people at work, and they don't want to hear about me talking about wrestling. So I'm like, I guess I got to start the show eventually. Like,
Exactly. Yeah, mine as well. Yes.
yeah. Been doing these 4 years. I had a co-host for a while, and then he wanted to do his own thing. So my
Understandable.
grandpa, God rest his soul,
Yeah,
Jose Quinones, said, "Keep it going, son.
for
Got
sure.
it, grandpa.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Praise. Yes.
Keep the family legacy going."
For sure.
My grandpa was a lucha, so keep it going in the fam. Even though I wear the glasses, I don't wear a mask. It's like kind of like my mask.
Exactly. It keeps your identity because you take the glasses off. We be like, wait a minute, now who is this individual? Yeah, exactly. Where did he go? Where Joe Panther? Some crazy man is on the street. Joe Panther, where did
What?
you go? Oh no! Oh, there you go. There you are. I was looking for you. Some man popped up. I didn't know who he was. See, it's your identity, And it's like me. Like if I'm not coming out here and my pastorly do this, they don't know who I am. But until I get out and I start hot stepping and I start making noise, then they're like, "Oh, he's here. The good one's here. That pastor is here." Yes.
Yes. You know what? You know what song I think you have to find? You have to find some Kurt Franklin. Come out to the ring and like old school, like
I
90s Kurt Franklin.
love to. I would love to. I would love to. And that's the thing with wrestling and
You sound like him when you talk. Your voice sounds like Kurt Franklin.
Yes, yeah, I appreciate it. Yes, yeah. He's like my second cousin, twice removed, father's brother. So we got a little close relation and things like that. But that's the thing about coming out to an unpopular song because when that Kirk Franklin hits, you can't help but catch the Holy Ghost. Like you can't help but get to moving and jumping and things like that. But see, because of copyright issues,
Mm.
you got to get a hold of this guy to get a hold of that guy to hopefully get a hold of this guy to be like, hey, if I could just borrow this for a match of you or, come out to things like that. But it's a whole different world right now, whole different thing. But
Back in the
I would
90s, you could just use a
love,
song and nobody will say anything to you. Now it's just like,
yes,
you gotta
make
talk,
it a
because like
dark match.
my thing is, for me, like I would come out to Bobby Brown's On Our Own. And Bobby Brown's My
Ooh,
Prerogative, because that's like my favorite song, with that break
yes,
stopping and then like that's my song. Everybody's
yes.
talking all this stuff about me, that's my song.
Yeah, yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
My Prerogative. I love Bobby Brown. So, before we go, do you have any shows that are coming up that you want to promote and talk about?
So I know on the 17th, that is going to be a Wednesday. I will be at Ruthless Wrestling, again under Ricky Shane page. I believe that is Ground Zero 5. So be there if you are from the Cleveland area. Come and join us. The 20th, I got a little bit of a double shot. That is going to be an upcoming Saturday. I have Mega Championship Wrestling, Battle of the, or not Battle, but Beauties and the Beast, or Baddies and the Beast. Yeah, Baddies and the Beast. I'm over here mixing up my words. Baddies and the Beast. This is where we are going to be crowning our first baddest champion, featuring Emily Locke, featuring Megan Myers, featuring Super Obra, featuring Angel Metro, featuring many names coming in to be the head baddie of Mega Championship Wrestling, but over in Cleveland. That's in Lorraine. Over in Cleveland, I will be at Exodus Pro under EC3, making my step back into the spotlight, and I will be under the big brother, Pretty Boy Smooth, as he defends his NWA Exodus Midwest title. And then from there, the next day, Mega Championship Wrestling will be in Seven Hills. We'll be doing a little bit, shooting off some fireworks, giving you some good matches, absolutely. And then on the 25th, which I believe is next Saturday, we're going to be heading back to the Rubber Ducks game. Yes, oh, Mega, we are coming back. And guess what? Your mascot, the Rubber Duck, we got some business to handle. You see, if you were there last year, you know that duck tried to cheat me in a dance battle. It's time. We had a rematch, yes. And then from there, after the Rubber Ducks game, I'm going to be traveling down to Chicago. Yes, over those Chicago, because Black Label Pro will be having a seminar. Trevor Lee, an individual that has been on TV, so I would love to learn under that learning tree and gain some information if I could. Then I'll be traveling back the next day into Warren, Ohio for a show, and then I'll be traveling the next day back into Cleveland for Extreme Fight World, where I will be in a triple threat match against Christian Noir and Cowpoke Paul. Yes.
Wow, awesome. As you were talking about before, if my fans want to go and pick up any merch of yours, where can they find it?
Right now, shows. It's showing up to shows. You know, I do a lot of places in like the Cleveland, Lorraine, Elyria, places and things like that. If you follow on like my Facebook, my Instagram, Twitter, I'm still trying to get going, but like my Facebook, Instagram, and my TikTok, those are gonna be like my big places where I'm broadcasting and showing information. Those are the places where I'll have like merchandise and things like that. Definitely need to get something going online. That'll be coming soon once, I get, decent amount of stuff to put up there. But right now, shows, if you come out, show some love to us other wrestlers. It's awesome to work in front of those big crowds and, just entertain. So shows is definitely the place to come and get merchandise right now.
Awesome, Pastor. I want to thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Yes.
I just want to say thank you so much for coming on the podcast. And fans, most importantly, as I have not really ever said this, don't forget to support your local independent wrestling promotion. Go out, buy stickers, buy t-shirts, definitely support this man right here, my pastor friend. Support him, give him some love, show him some love. I show some love. He shows me some love by coming on Dudes. He'll definitely tell his friends, tell everybody. As I always say, I would like to say, have a good night, everybody. And just remember, catch you on the flip side.